Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 22, 23. I meant what I said the second time. This is Guardian, and welcome back to a tour through history. We are continuing our run as the Milwaukee Brewers, which, by any reasonable definition, has been incredibly successful. We have won 100 games twice, and the time we didn't win 100 games, we won the World Series. We've been to 3 consecutive World Series and won one of them. Sort of like the Buffalo Bills of the 90s, but you know, we didn't suck. I'm just saying. Anyway, so I wanted to address a quick comment because this comment is absolutely 100% accurate. There is a real opportunity, if you play historically, to make hay while the sun shines in the first couple years after free agency. The AI really struggles with how to properly value their players. They let really great players go, and they don't make efforts to sign people. I have another built-in advantage here, though, because I only care about this team for 10 years, which means if I sign, like, an 8-year deal, and I know it's going to be worth it for 6 years, I don't give a shit about years 7 and 8, really. So, but it is kind of a real issue with the game. Once the market takes up and the financial model starts to balance out a little bit, you will notice things become a lot more competitive. But for now, it's kind of easy to have super teams like this one. Yeah. What do we want to upgrade this offseason? It's really hard to say. We could probably use a better DH. Scratch out, we could definitely use a better DH. But even then, it's like Richie Zisk is bad now. It's just, he's not batting title winning Richie Zisk. And we need a really consistent bat in the heart of our lineup to help the rest of it hang together. We need to figure out if this is all Mike Schmidt is, or if he's going to keep hitting in the 240 range, in which case I will happily put up with all the strikeouts. But really, we just need better health, and we need a little bit more depth. And I think depth is the number one key here. Very, very important point that many, many people made. Bruce Sutter ain't meant to pitch 100 innings a season. I don't care how good that makes him. We got to dial it way the fuck back. So we're going to make him into a traditional closer this year. He will not be pitching 63 games for 103 innings. That can't happen. We might want to start thinking about a replacement for Mark Bellinger. Although Bellinger was still good, he's also on the wrong side of 30 and makes a lot of errors. So it's not unreasonable to think that perhaps we might need to replace him. We'll see what happens, though. We shall see what happens. Yeah, Floyd Bannister giving up so many home runs does deeply concern me. But we'll see what happens, my friends. We shall see what happens. Let us... let's double check on arbitration. And I've got some decisions to make here. Okie dokie. Let us begin with the one and only Dennis Eckersley, who wants a very reasonable increase. And he's been a pretty solid pitcher. He hasn't been outstanding. He hasn't been terrible. He's been pretty reliable. I think a new contract is worthwhile. 81 grand, sure, why not? Pete Vukovich. His control, man, it's no. Someone else can deal with him. I will not. Ken Shakovich is not great. I think moving on from him is reasonable. Glenn Vaughn is pretty awful. Chet Lemon definitely gets an extension. I will happily give him his 300 grand. Easy peasy. Sixto Lascano, I will happily give you your 1-year deal as well. Richie Zisk is still going to be useful, even if he just as a trade chit. So I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 1-year deal with no guaranteed playing time, and we'll see where that gets us. Doyle Alexander was very, very helpful down the stretch, and I wouldn't mind keeping him around as an extra arm either in the bullpen or in the rotation. I'm not going to guarantee him either 4 years or starting rotation spot, but I will give him 1 year. I think 96 grand is useful for a pitcher that can contribute. Dan McGinn, I still kind of want to keep. It's not his fault that he hasn't really had an opportunity to show what he can do. So I think 1 more year of him is also reasonable. Niebauer can go jump in a lake, as can Lance Clemens. Easy peasy. New coach Squeezy. Do I have any coaches to worry about? Okay, I got a couple pending offers. Great. Awesome sauce. Let us proceed. Checks all the boxes. What is this list of boxes that are or are not being checked? Lots of people signed new deals, which is great. Yeah, I'm not expecting top quality performance from Doyle Alexander. What I'm expecting is reasonable utility. And I think Doyle Alexander can still offer that to us. I definitely think that there is enough to his game that I will find something to do with him. Believe you me. Believe you me. A gold glove for Dick Green. And Johnny Bench. You know, I completely forgot we got Johnny Bench. In free agency. But yeah, it turns out that was a pretty good decision. Who knew? A Silver Slugger for Johnford Bench. Nobody else got one, but that's reasonable. I'm Manager of the Year again. Very nice. And Catfish Hunter won the Mikey Smith Award. Well done, Catfish. Highly deserving. And boy, did those 2 free agency signings work out. I'm pretty happy about that. I wonder if I had anybody anywhere near MVP, though. I don't think I did. I'm kind of surprised I didn't get Reliever of the Year, but I get why I didn't. Because I'm looking in the wrong league, obviously. Yeah, it's because Bruce Sutter didn't have very many saves. Because he was used as a stopper, not as a closer. So that's kind of his issue there. Wally Walford, my boy, enjoy your new contract. I'm indeed going to call you Walford, by the way, so just be aware of that. So, who we got in free agency? That's a good question. And let's talk about what we actually need. Okay, let's focus on what we could really use an upgrade at. I could use a great hitter regardless of position to fill out the DH spot. That's one target. Next up, I really want a very solid middle infielder. And I think that'll cover most of it. If I can get a good utility infielder and a really good hitter regardless of position, I think that puts us in a really good position to make some things happen. So, the best hitter in this draft is... It's probably Rico Cardi. There's something to be said for Ron Say being our dude here. He's just so good at everything. And he's not a terrible third baseman. He's definitely not George Brett. Fuck it. Let's grab Ron Say. No, my friend. You get 3 years. No, he wants too much money. Who else would be a top tier? Say wants to get paid like a megastar. And I just don't think that's a good use of my money. I really don't. To pay someone like him like a megastar. When I could just get somebody almost as good for a lot cheaper. Like a Rico Cardi. Yeah, let's offer Rico Cardi a contract for 1 year only, please. And we'll see where that gets us. Next, I want to look at all infielders. Like, obviously, Chris Spire would be just a ridiculous option. Tommy Harper is a decent hitter, but I kind of want somebody a bit more well-rounded. Who can maybe handle a couple of positions with some level of skill. Frank Tavares would be quite a nice little piece. He's got good speed, a pretty good defender at third and short, which means I could probably play him second, and I think he'll hit well enough. My dude, come be a Milwaukee Brewer. But I'm not giving you a guaranteed starting role. I'm gonna give you a major league role of some sort. But I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of money on a backup. So let me just... Oh. That's kind of a jerk move. Did you literally even play for me for a full season? I don't think you did. I think you just fucking bailed on me. After I literally just hired you. And I didn't get my first base coach either. What the hell? Definitely want somebody who can develop. But he can also teach. I think development is arguably more important. But no, I think being a good teacher is important too. Dick, I'm gonna offer you first base coach. And then I'm going to offer... maybe Danny Gardella. He is a really good teacher, so I think there is some value in that. I wonder why that one guy didn't want to sign with me. I mean, I just didn't pay attention, so that's on me. We got Gardella, and we got Krahowski. Nice. Nice. Hall of Fame voting time. What do we got? What do we got? I'll vote for Antonelli. Larry Doby, yes. Why do people love Ray Crone? I think he's the guy that had like a long starting career, but had just enough innings that counted as a reliever. I'm not gonna help you make it. I will vote for Granny and Dick Grote and Elston Howard. Look, buddy, I love you. So I'll toss you one last vote for old time's sake. I don't think it's going to matter, though. I like Vinegar Bend Mazel. I don't think it's going to matter, but I'll vote for him. And Jim Pearsall. Norm Seaburn is pretty legit. I think he's got a pretty good chance to be a first ballot guy with enough success. I will vote for Al Smith. And Eddie Yost. Elston Howard's a pretty good... oh, I already did vote for him. There we go. I don't see the point in voting for any of these relievers when the only reason they look impressive is because they spent a long part of their career as a starter. Like, Carl Spooner ain't a relief pitcher. If you look at his bloody career... oh no, he actually was a relief pitcher, converted into being a starter. Holy shit. What the fuck? He got 4 wins as a reliever. Twice. I take everything back. Carl Spooner deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm gonna revisit some of these relievers because holy shit, my dudes. Oh, Jack Harshman. He deserves it too. I don't think he's gonna make it, but he seems like a good egg. Fred Green. I want to see how the voters treat him before I decide to vote for him. Alright, Ray Crone. Yeah, all of your really good years were as a starting pitcher. I don't think I can in good conscience consider you to be a reliever, and so I'm not going to vote for Ray Crone. I'll toss a vote Bob Bruce's way because he is a very solid starting pitcher. Ken Boyer. I don't like the version of Ken Boyer that didn't play third base. Because I thought both Ken and Clete Boyer were amazing third basemen. Although that was kind of their thing. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's only Clete Boyer that was an amazing third baseman. I don't know. Oh, he did play some third base, just at the very beginning of his career. I see. I'll vote for Ken Boyer. He wouldn't cheapen the haul, and I don't think he's going to make it anyway. Alright. Submit the ballot. You tricked me into voting for a reliever game. How dare you? But also, it just makes good sense. Just makes good sense. You would offer me Tug McGraw and Frank Riccelli for John Stearns. That's a pretty legit upgrade to the bullpen, and I like it, but I don't like it enough to give up John Stearns for it. I like having John Stearns in my back pocket. So what if I gave you something else? What if I gave you the 37-year-old starting pitcher who got hurt? Done. That's a straight-up win. That gives us an excellent relief pitcher in Tug McGraw and a really good relief pitcher in the new guy who's also going to go right to the big leagues. I feel pretty good about that deal. We are going to address starting pitcher now, so it's worth kicking the tires. Who we got starting pitching-wise? Fred Newman's as good as it gets, and he is quite a magnificent specimen. But he's only got the two... he's also really damn good. Doc Ellis completely transformed his career with San Diego. Because I didn't think he was anything special when I had him. I mean, isn't $100,000 from Mickey Lolich a better deal? No, because Fred Newman's actually consistently been a really good pitcher the last few seasons. He's also 35. If I'm doing 4 years, I want a team option in both years. And I'm not giving you a no-trade clause. I want to be able to get rid of you if you become a millstone. No, I don't want Horacio Pena that badly. Yes, it would make my bullpen even more terrifying, but again, for John Stearns, it's not a good deal. You want Richie Zisk? You can have Richie Zisk. Done. I know I'm getting an old friend, but I think it's been quite a while since I've had Horacio Pena. Oh no, I had him with Houston, didn't I? I'm just a crazy man at this point. I'm going to have a ridiculous bullpen that's going to make other teams cry. And I'm here for it. Just got to get me a quality starter or two, and we'll be in real good shape. We got Cardi and Tavares. Awesome. Cardi replaces Zisk. Tavares becomes our very, very highly qualified backup infielder. Maybe overqualified. I don't know. I'd like another outfielder. If I could get one. I could just call Willie Horton, though. I think he'd be good. Have that nice big power bat on the bench. I think that's very solid. There's also Dick Sharon, of course. He could handle it. He could handle it real good. Alright, so we got Paul Molitor and Ozzie Smith are pretty much the top of this class with a really good underclass, and guys like Bob Horner, Pedro Guerrero, Lonnie Smith, and Terry Kennedy. Who did Ron Hassey play for? I remember for whatever reason in my brain, I always confused Ron Hassey and Bill Hasselman. I know Bill Hasselman played for the Rangers, but I don't remember who Ron Hassey played for. He played for... I guess he played for Cleveland. Huh. I didn't know that. I mean, it was several years before I was born, so I think I'm justified. But no, whatever her name, Ron Hassey, I thought it was him as Bill Hasselman, and they're obviously not the same person. As it turns out. So we're picking 26th. And one thing you'll notice is that a lot more players aren't amazing on day one. Like, there's still some good ones, but a lot of them just need time to develop. So that kind of counteracts the, oh my god, draft picks are amazing. I'm not even going to pretend to think about which player I want yet, because 25 people are going to go before I get to pick. I'm just going to go ahead and click auto draft and see who's left. It is almost overwhelmingly pitchers that are available to me. And Dave Edwards. And Mike Heath. So, to begin with, I got John Stearns as my backup. I feel pretty good about that. Mike Heath is a really good hitter. I think he'd be a bit better suited in a corner outfield spot for us. But on the other hand, I can always... Like, I don't feel rushed to grab a player of his caliber. Dave Edwards is a little bit more my speed because he's very, very well developed. He's got a nice power discipline combo, pretty good speed, and a pretty good glove. He would be a very, very solid fourth outfielder / third outfielder if I needed someone to play every now and again. There's Roger Erickson, yet another guy who pitches to contact but doesn't give many strikeouts. There's Steve Trout, who's basically the same thing. I think Dave Edwards is the best choice. I think his flexibility in the field, plus his raw talent level, make him a useful contributor. On day one, perhaps. So I'm gonna grab him. Steve Trout is still here in the second round, and Steve Trout is at least useful enough to consider, so I will get in on the Trout. It is all Trout all the time here in Milwaukee. Tim Conroy. I like the strikeout capabilities, but he's also not a starter, he's a reliever for sure, which only helps him actually. Tim Conroy, I choose you to see what you can do. And then Dave Geisel at this point is just like, it's just free real estate, so I will draft you. Down to 20 players left. No secret megastars, sadly. I guess I'll go for Dave Tobick. I don't think he's very good, but I don't see any reason not to negotiate with him. I quite like Dave Edwards. I think he's a very good piece to this roster. I think Steve Trout's got a pretty fair chance to make the rotation in the near future. And everyone else plays some kind of useful role, which is good. I don't think we have any starters. Dave Edwards could become one down the road, potentially. Same holds true for Steve Trout, but no one's going to be a day one starter, in my opinion. But they'll definitely have important roles to play. That is for sure. Oh, someone took Willie Horton. I guess I could have, if I wanted him, I could have put a ring on him. Which I didn't. So that's on me. I mean, I wouldn't hate George Foster as a nice kind of an interesting bat off the bench. Let Dave Edwards develop a little bit. Yeah, let's take George Foster. Unless John Scott is even better, he's not. Foster it is. And then I will just go ahead and complete the Rule 5, because I don't have any other need for anybody else there. This lets me let Edwards develop in the minors, which I think is going to be really helpful for us. I think that was a very solid move. Newman. I like it. Okay. And Johnny Antonelli made the Hall of Fame, and literally nobody else did. I think we did Buddy Kerr a little bit dirty. I don't think he deserved to make the Hall of Fame necessarily, but he was definitely good enough to at least break the 50% mark, in my opinion. And he never did. I'm not saying he's an amazing player, but he was very, very good. And I think he should have gotten more consideration. I'm really worried about guys like Granny Hamner, because he's only at 23%. And while he is creeping up... Oh no, he's actually going in the wrong direction. Oh dear. I don't get it, guys. I don't get why you go, oh my god, Ray Crone, he's incredible. It's because you're judging him weirdly. You're judging him as a reliever, which he was decent at, but all of his best years were as a starter. So you're giving him, like, extra credit. It's kind of like an inverse... It's kind of an inverse Dennis Eckersley, in which he became a starter later in his career, whereas Dennis Eckersley started as a starter and then got traded from the Cleveland Guardians because Rick Manning slept with his wife. Because Rick Manning was an asshole. He was fine calling a game. That's how I knew Rick Manning, because by the time he was a real big thing, oh wow, $200 fucking dollars. You are truly magnificent, jerk. But yeah, by the time I was watching baseball regularly, Rick Manning had retired, and I only knew him as a broadcaster. It's a lot of things happening in baseball history. Some of them are nice, some of them less nice. I'll just leave it at that. For new. Yeah, I don't want Jim Nelson. He doesn't do anything for me. I've got loads of relievers at this point. Game, please. I don't mind letting Dave Edwards get some reps in the big leagues. We can do the same for Floyd Bannister and Dave Geisel and Steve Trout and Silvio Martinez. We're going to rock a 6-man rotation, and we're going to see what that gets me. Nice. Line oops. Do as you like. Mark Bellinger is not a leadoff hitter. Stop making him into a leadoff hitter. But the rest of this is fine. The rest of this is just fine. Like, I'm not even mad at the AI for doing this, because this is very much what a manager in the 1970s would have done. They would have gone, ooh, fast, and put the fast guy at the top of the lineup. Even though Bellinger is not all that fast. Not really. He's very smart, though. I mean, 15 bases only getting caught once is pretty solid. But yeah, this is ooh fast, decent plate discipline. You don't want a player that gets on bases infrequently at the top of your lineup. Your leadoff hitter ideally should get on bases 360 clip or higher. He has managed that mark one time in his entire career. He's not a leadoff hitter. He's not even a good hitter. He's only been better than league average thrice. What he is a very good defensive shortstop that hits just well enough that his bat isn't a liability. That is Mark Bellinger. It's spring training. I don't care. I'm not going to complain about it now. But if you think for 1/10 of a second that Mark Bellinger will be a leadoff hitter, you're even crazier than the game. Ooh, Floyd Bannister adding some heat to his fastball. You love to see it. You love to see it. And we're going to do a week at a time, just so I have the flexibility to put people where I want. I almost poured my drink down my nose because the top of the can was in the wrong direction. It is a half and half if you are interested in half lemonade, half iced tea. A diet one because I am diabetic. So I gotta watch my sugar intake. Okay. I got 36 players. I see 2 that are gone. Boop. 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 Bannister can go to the minors. Verhoeven can go to the minors. What does that leave me in terms of pitchers? These are 14 pitchers. Trout's definitely going to the minors because I want him to get a chance to start. And I'm going to send down Dave Geisel just because I'd like him to see if he can maybe add some heat to his fastball, and I think he'll be able to do that easier in the minors. But our bullpen is pretty freaking scary. I've got to acknowledge that. So, 5-man rotation. Mr. Alexander, emergency starter, long relief. Frank Riccelli, I'd like you to be... Actually, who would be the best lefty specialist? Easily Tug McGraw. Tug, you're a lefty specialist first. You're going to be middle relief, long relief. And Bruce Sutter is just going to be a stereotypical closer. He's got enough He's got enough stamina that I like having him be a multi-out closer, but he is just going to be a closer. He's not going to be a stopper again. I don't want him to blow out his arm. Because I got big plans for him. Okay, cool. That's our pitching staff. Still got to get rid of 4 more players. Ike Hampton is one obvious choice. Dave Edwards goes to the minors. It's White and Sharon, isn't it? Yeah, it's White and Sharon that go down to the minors. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to trade Frank White and see what might be on offer if I did. Because I think there's a reasonable chance that he can't clear waivers. Actually, let's just look at prospects. Sorry. I mean, I could get Rick Sutcliffe. This is the one who became like an icon for the Cubs, right? Yeah. I guess it wasn't actually all that good in real life. It just goes to show you. I don't think anyone's going to take Frank White. I really don't. I mean, Lance here is just another reliever. As is Mr. Tom Hume. And Jerry Garvin's at least got okay stuff, so I like him a little bit better than some of these others. But frankly, I'd rather just waive him and hope he clears waivers. Because I think he saw his value in case somebody gets hurt. So we'll see what happens with that. Amigos, we're now down to 25. Let us set the correct lineup for your 1978 Milwaukee Brewers. We're still in the AL East, so we want to get set up with our DH lineup first. Our very best hitter, pound for pound, is George Brett. So George Brett's going to be hitting second. I see no reason to change that. I think he's done well there. And this lets me bat Sixto Lezcano third, where his power can be of great use. And then Jeff Burrows can bat cleanup. Chet Lemon's going to hit leadoff just because somebody has to, and I trust him way more than Mark Bellinger. Johnny Bench is going to hit fifth. Bench is going to whine that he's not in the middle of the lineup. I'm just going to tell him to STFU. Because everyone wants to be in the middle of the lineup, and there's literally not enough spots to put everyone in the middle of the lineup. I have too many good hitters. It is a blessing and a curse sometimes. And then we're going to do Mike Schmidt hitting seventh. No, Cardi is a much better... Mike Schmidt's a much better first baseman than Rico Cardi, so Schmidt will be playing first. Second base, Dick Green. Mark Belanger shall bat ninth. Backing up at all the middle infield spots will be Mr. Frank Taveras. Frankie Tabs, as we like to call him. Backing up first will indeed be Mr. Rico Cardi. Mike Schmidt will back up at first. Or DH, rather. We got George Foster playing both corner infield spots. And I've got Joe Pepitone in center. In order to keep... ouch. I just pinched my own toe. That was dumb. In order to keep, in particular, Mr. Bellinger and Mr. Green somewhat fresh, I'm going to let Tavares start once a week at either shortstop or second base. Coolio. George Foster's gonna be our... Oh, I tried to make Rico Cardi the backup catcher. That ain't happening. There you go. George Foster will be the number one guy off the bench. Then Frankie Taubes. Then John Stearns. And then Joe Pepitone. As far as speedy boys go, Tavares is pretty fast. And then I guess probably Foster. There we go. I'm going to copy and paste this all over. There is no interleague play yet. So I just have to remember if we make the World Series to fix what's going to be a train wreck here. And my friends, we can go ahead and go up to opening day. Damn it, Expos. You guys are jerks. I wanted to keep Frank White. I just didn't want him on the Major League roster. Oh well. I got Rookie of the Year 20 times. Very nice. Well, St. Louis ended up with him. Good for them. Do I have any one of the top 100? I'm sure I don't. I am dead sure that I have probably one of the worst minor league systems in the majors. I have no illusions. I'm really 12th? Huh. I mean, they love Floyd Bannister. That's fun. I don't think he is a reliever, but I don't mind him figuring himself out. Did I make sure to add everybody the 40-man that should be? I did. Friends, let us play baseball. Damn, Burrows, nice. Guys, I feel the need to point out, shut out, shut out, shut out, shut out. Three homers for Jeff Burrows. Very nice. Where is George Brett? I saw them say Brett. Yeah, here you go. 5 hits for Brett, including 2 homers. Nice. Damn, friends. I'm not going to worry about stats yet. We're just going to keep going for right now, and then we'll see where we are at the end of May. Oh my god, owner. Why? Yeah, Bellinger, I'm not giving you that much money. Unless you really turn it around this year. Which is going to mean that the owner's going to sign him, because the owner's a fucking dumbass. But it's his checkbook, I guess. I will lock up Mike Schmidt. I think Schmidt has earned at least another couple of years. How are you playing this year? You're kind of back to your old tricks, and I will live with that. However, Mr. Schmidt, you're not getting an opt-out. And I am getting at least one team option. And you're not getting a no trade clause either. I need to be able to trade you if I think if it turns out that you might be a detriment to the lineup. But I don't think you will be. I think you'll always be useful, just maybe not Hall of Fame worthy. But we'll see what you can manage. It's about time for the owner to sign somebody else that's dumb. Okay, we did end up bringing him back. And I'm happy, honestly, that he's sticking around here, too. I do wish he hit for a better average. He's basically Joey Gallo before there was a Joey Gallo right now. But he's a really good player, and I'm not at all upset that we were able to retain him. Fred Newman is losing velocity. Well, that contract's already biting me in the ass. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. All the pictures I've got, and Bill Singer's the one who got Picture of the Month for May, that's pretty crazy. So, offensively, up until you get to Mike Schmidt, we have a scary good lineup. Johnny Bench is obviously incredible because he's doing this as a catcher, but he's not the best version of himself, I think it is fair to say. But when Chet Lemon's leading off hitting 300, George Brett's hitting 298, Sixto Lascano is hitting 321, and then Jeff Burrows is hitting 323 and is hitting 21 homers already. You've got yourself a fine lineup. And even Mike Schmidt is still, because he's got so much ridiculous power, and he's a pretty smart base runner and gets on base a lot, is still a very valuable player. Even if he's maybe not the very best hitter he could be. Totally cool with this. Pitching staff looks really solid. Fred Newman, not so much. Bruce Sutter is not allowed an earned run in 17 innings, which is pretty crazy. I think we trade Fred Newman and see if I can get a good starter in return. Even a mediocre starter, because he's just not good. He's losing velocity. That's the biggest sign that somebody is slipping. And I'd rather have a good starter over a bad one. Blue Moon Odom is as good as I can get. I mean, at least he isn't 600 grand a year. I guess. Yeah, let's get Blue Moon. This is about dumping salary so that I have the flexibility to other players, potentially. And then... where's Doyle Alexander? Here he is. Is there an interesting starting pitcher? That an enterprising lad might be able to acquire. I mean, I could get Louis Tion, basically for free. That's kind of cool. Is there an interesting starting pitcher on the trading block? Not one who's good at second base defense. Don't be weird, game. To be quite honest with you, I think I'm gonna try to give. Oh, Blue Moon becomes a really good reliever, but I need a. I need a starter. I don't need a reliever. So I think. No, I think Doyle Alexander is the best choice for our new fifth starter for right now, and then Blue Moon can be emergency starter along relief. Alright, my dudes, let us proceed forward. Okay, not cool, game. Not cool. What the fuck, dude? How? Did you get, like, busted in the kneecap? Thanks, guys. I hate it. I've got to look at the game and see how he was injured. No, George Foster came in and hit when Lascano went out. That's fine. Must have been hurt in the first game. Oh no, he did get hurt in the last game. He got hurt sometime before that. So the last game he played in was June 7th. Let's check out the log. The log. No, George Foster is already playing there. Here we go. He was injured while running the bases. He blew out his MCL running the fucking bases. Are you seriously having a laugh at my expense? Game. I mean, George Foster is murdering baseballs, so if he's got to fill in, I don't have a problem with that. And we can call up Dick Sharon. So Burrows, bench, and Cardi all move up. George Foster is going to play right. And then I don't really care who takes over here. Okay. And then I do need to look here so that I can go ahead and set up Dick Sharon in the corners. Yeah, we'll just copy this right over. Damn, guys. Give me a freaking break. Alright, let's keep on keeping on. Nope. What does George Foster want to stay with the club? 200 grand isn't terrible for a very useful bench bat. Excuse me. But I can also probably do better. So I think I'm just going to decline, and then we'll see what happens. Oh, you extended Chat Lemon's deal. Okay, great. I don't know why you did it so quickly, but you got a really good deal, and I'm very happy about keeping him. So well done, owner. I just don't know why you did it now. But hey, my dude here is playing at an extremely high level, so I'm good with that. We're gonna lose Louis Tion. That's kind of a shame, but it is what it is. He is delighted with me because of course he is. I would like to re-sign all of my minor league coaches while I figure out what to do with the team. Milt Bowling is nothing too impressive. I think we can replace him pretty easily. And Alfonso Colon is actively terrible, so you can both find new jobs elsewhere. Does it make me a dick? Maybe. But that's how I roll. Chat lemon, not sour. Not sewer at all. Didn't Pedro Guerrero play for the Blue Jays in real life too? No, he played for the Dodgers. Am I thinking of the played for the Blue Jays with the last name of Guerrero around this time? I can't remember. I like how, if you notice, the top 10 picks are from 10 different teams. That's a very good sign that we're going to start getting a more even talent distribution going forward. I got excited for a second. I saw Palmer and then Orioles, and I realized, no, this is David Palmer, not Jim Palmer. I have no idea who David Palmer is. Apparently, he wasn't all that great. Cool. Coolio. Offensively, we're pretty solid. Johnny Bench is definitely struggling this season relative to his past. And so I'd like to see him turn that around. That is a bit of a concern. Mike Schmidt is cranking bombs and drawing walks, which is very good. George Foster is hitting at a high level. Dick Green and Mark Bellinger exist. That's the nicest thing I can say about them. You're both replacement level at this point, my dudes. I think it might be time for you to move on. I'm just saying. Alright. I don't really see an obvious area to upgrade unless we can find a new starting second baseman or shortstop. Which maybe I can, maybe I can't. There's always a possibility of just promoting Taveras and just handing him one of the two jobs. But I kind of like having him on the bench. I think that's where he can do us the most good. And he's still getting fairly regular playing time, so it's not like we're ignoring him. What do we have on the trade market? If I were looking for an infielder, I could not trade for John Lowenstein because he's a terrible infielder. I'm not grabbing Zoilo Versailles. I can't just keep bringing in players that used to play for me. I have to get creative. Yeah, there are no good infielders on the market. That's a bit of a shame. But it makes sense, too, though. Like, you genuinely are kind of at the mercy of the market because teams with great infielders don't usually let them go. I will say I might bump Johnny Bench down from cleanup. Let me think about that. Yeah, when we've got Rico Cardi and George Foster and Mike Schmidt all hitting pretty doggone well, I think it does make sense to maybe bump down. I'm going to bat Schmidt fourth and then bat Bench sixth. And we'll see how this goes. Maybe give Bench a bit more protection in the lineup. Johnny Bench is your starting catcher, however, so that's kind of fun. McDowell, Hunter, and Sutter all made it. Burrows made it. Brett made it. I feel very good about all that. A bit down about Chet Lemon not making it, but when Oscar freaking Gamble's hitting 23 homers by the All-Star break, I don't think I have any grounds to complain, really. Really. Let us proceed to roster expansion time. Dick Salma is a mediocre reliever. I really don't need those. I need starting pitching. I don't need relievers. Is there a new gentleman available at either one of the middle infield positions or the position of starting pitcher? There is nobody good in the infield. Bit of a shame. Starting pitching is just not that impressive. Like, of these guys, the only one I might want to acquire might be Mel Stottlemyre, and even then he's a 36-year-old who's really losing zip off his fastball. I know the future is going to be a great pitching coach. I don't disagree with that. But right now, I'm not convinced that he's a very good starting pitcher. I think we're almost better off keeping Doyle Alexander, just letting him figure it out. We'll continue for now. I'm not bringing you back, Bellinger. I have very you're below replacement level. If you're playing incredible shortstop, maybe, but you're going to have to beg the owner for a new deal because I ain't going to give you one. I ain't freaking stupid. Really, Singer? Wait till after the trading deadline to get hurt. I see how you are. Game. Things are looking good. Johnny Bench is bouncing back quite nicely. I'll be curious to see how he ends up at the end of the season. But Mike Schmidt, my boy, is almost slugging 500. You can't argue with that. I don't think Jeff Rose is going to hit 60 home runs anymore, which is a shame. It'd be really cool if he did. Be a lot cooler if he did. George Brett just does more George Brett things. You gotta appreciate that. And what about George freaking Foster, who's just like, oh, you need a new player to take over the slack while Sixto Loscano recovers. I got you, fam. And he does indeed got us. So thanks, my dude. I appreciate it. Appreciate you. If Mike Schmidt's contact could ever get above 40, I think he'd be terrifying. I truly, truly do. We're going to wait a little bit longer for Singer to come back. That's fine. It just means Blue Moon Odom's going to pick up a start or two. Like, guys, I don't want to alarm you, but I think we're going to win more than 100 games again. We're just a little bit too good to keep us down. Look at Doyle Alexander being like, oh yeah, I can pitch. Pitching's not that hard. Not for you, it isn't, amigo. Man, fuck you, Oscar Gamble. You jerk. Well, good. You lost anyway, so haha. You're no Chet Lemon. That's what I've always said. Foster has played really, really well in the short time he's been starting for us. But doesn't it seem like 200 grand is a lot for a backup? But even a pretty good backup like him, it seems like a lot. And I quite frankly don't see him hitting 288 again. I really don't. He's never been a big-time hitter in the big leagues. This has been the best offensive year of his major league career. He might approach one full win above replacement, and I just don't think that's a good deal. We'll see what the owner does. The owner might sign him anyway just to spite me, which is very on brand for him. But then again, he signed Chet Lemon to a great deal, so I'm not that annoyed by that. Really? Sam, you unbelievable prick. This is when you get bone chips? Right before the goddamn playoffs. What the hell? Ugh. Steve Trout, welcome to the big leagues, my dude. Someone's got to pitch, and it's got to be you, I guess. And now, I'm definitely not going to get Sixto back until next season. Cool. I am aware I won 107 games. That is an accurate statement. But I'm still salty. I'm still real salty. I don't want him off the secondary roster. I want him on the postseason roster. There we go. So it's gonna be Hunter, Fish, and Blue. It's gonna be Hunter, Singer, Blue, and Alexander. That's going to be my rotation in the playoffs. Because I kind of don't have a choice, right? I kind of don't have a choice. I don't really have a better choice than that. Let's sim some baseball games. Well, the White Sox beat me in game 1 and in game 2. And in game 3. I got bounced in the first round. That's not cool. Damn, guys, really? I mean, fucking Jeff Burrows and George Brett disappeared. That's gonna kill our team, for sure. What am I gonna do, though? Look at George Foster, though. Holy shit, man. I guess I just wish them well and hope that the White Sox wipe the floor with the Expos. I guess that feels nice to know that the team that defeated me. Did I lose my... Oh, you retired. Okay. Dick Green's gonna test free agency. Good luck, my dude. Oh, Joe Pepitone retired. Okay. That is a bit of a bummer. I kind of was hoping he would stick around, but that's alright. So, I need a new hitting coach, or pitching coach, excuse me. Ed Fernandez is not terrible, but I'm not looking for not terrible. I'm looking for amazing. Nanny Fernandez is incredible. I will promote you to AAA hitting coach. Schwan McCall is... neither one of you are all that exciting. I'll get a new hitting coach here. Get Philly Dave. That's what I like to call him. Give me Roger Bowman. Even if he is not in fact a Bowman. I mean, that's not true. I don't actually know if he's a Bowman or not. Maybe he is a skilled archer of the highest caliber, and maybe he's not. Can I get Billy Pierce to be my rookie league manager, I wonder? Let's take a look at the season. Let's see what went well, what didn't go well, and what we can do better next time round. Sorting by WAR, Jeff Burrows had another incredible season. He just keeps getting better. He led the league in homers and led the league in on-base percentage. That's virtually perfect. I can't think of anything else I'd rather have a hitter lead the league in than those two categories, really. Chet Lemon is really coming into his own. I'm not totally convinced he's an amazing leadoff hitter, but I think he's good enough. And I do think he's still got another year or two left to find. But I'm quite frankly, I'm quite pleased with what we've got already from him. Which is very, very good center field defense, a pretty good base running abilities, decent on base percentage, and a fair bit of pop. All of which spells good times. Ever so slight slip back for George Brett, in that he basically resorted to his 1976 version. And there's nothing wrong with that. He was tremendous in 1976. But he wasn't a borderline MVP candidate. And so it definitely counts as a bit of a downer. But I'm glad to see his power surge. Although it stepped back relative to last season, he still hit for decent power. You can't really complain too much about Mr. George Brett. Johnny Bench did eventually heat up, but I think it's worth noting that he's still very, very far off his offensive peak. And that is concerning to me. That is a concern. Rico Cardi was a very nice pickup as a DH. If you can get 4 wins off of a DH, you know you've done something right. So the owner's decision to bring him back for another few years actually makes a fair bit of sense. Mike Schmidt turned in another 4-win season. He did it a little differently. I think his defense must have been better because offensively... Oh no, he struck out way less. He didn't hit the ball as often. Mark Bellinger did eventually turn it around. I'm still not convinced I can't do better than him, though. We might kick the tires on a new shortstop or two there. And yeah, we got a lot out of our bench. A lot out of it. John Stearns was incredible. And I think if he can hit at this level, obviously, I think he is worthy to get a bit more playing time and just give bench a bit more of a break. But we got a tremendous bench, one of the best in the big leagues in my opinion, and we had a really solid core. A couple people did take steps back, and if they can recover that lost ground, I think we're going to see an incredible season. Even more incredible next year. Pitching. Oh, let's not forget. Sexto Lascano was really freaking good again. But I am very concerned about his inability to stay healthy. That's going to definitely affect how we treat him in the future. And I thoroughly believe, had Sam McDowell not been hurt, that we would have had a much better postseason performance. It's just my take. I think it's a reasonable one, though, and I think it makes sense. Catfish Hunter might win Cy Young again. He was only marginally worse than last season. And I mean by like a sliver of a percentage point. He threw a few more innings and struck out one fewer batter. That's it. Bill Singer had a really nice season. He led the league in wins again. He's led the league in wins 3 years in a row. Which is pretty hilarious, but awesome. All the same. Vita Blue turned in a very good season. He started looking like a brilliant acquisition. You know what, Doyle Alexander? I paid you $96,000 and you gave me almost 2 full wins above replacement. That's a good deal. Bruce Sutter ended up pitching half as many innings, was nearly as productive, a much better ERA. The cut and strikeout rate worries me. I'm hoping that changes next season, and that this is just him adjusting after having such a huge workload this season before. Despite the quality of our bullpen, it didn't really perform all that well. We just had a bunch of guys that flirted with either being replacement level or just below replacement level. Which is obviously not awesome. But I won 107 games. I don't see how much more we could do during the regular season. I truly don't. I do think we're going to replace either second base or shortstop, if not both. Because while I could maybe see bringing Bellinger back, I'm not going to bring both of them back. Let's real quick, go ahead and make our salary arbitration offers. Let's give Bruce Sutter a bit of a raise. I think that's maybe too big a raise, but Sixto, I can't risk it. I cannot risk giving you a long-term deal right now. Not if you're going to keep getting injured. So I'm going to give you a 1-year deal for 550 grand. You want 660? Fine. You're worth it if you're healthy. I just can't be sure you'll be healthy. Doyle Alexander wants a pretty modest raise. I'm not going to guarantee the starting rotation, but I will bring you back. I'm not paying 440 grand for Bellinger. Or 200 for Foster. I wouldn't mind bringing back a Blue Moon for the right price, but I think I could probably do better, so I think it's just let all these free agents go. Unless Dick Green will come back for like pennies on the dollar, which I don't think he will. Oh no, he wants a raise. Yeah, my boys, I hope you enjoy the next team you find, because you sure ain't gonna play for me for that much money. I'd rather spend my money on better things. And I got a 3-year deal for 250 grand a year. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I can complain about a season when I won 107 games. Just because of the way it ended. And it's not like we got raffle-stomped. We lost every game of the playoffs by 1 run. A couple more timely hits. It really just came down to the top players didn't perform when the lights were the brightest. And that's always going to be an issue in the postseason. It really is a crapshoot. It really, truly is. So, I hope you're enjoying the series. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. You can watch new OOTP videos every Monday and Friday. Do leave a comment. Let me know what you think about how our season went down below. And am I crazy to let Bellinger and Green and Foster walk? I don't think so, but maybe I am. Do we think Lezcano is still going to be a top-tier player, or are we already basically fucked? A very good question, and I don't know the answer to that either. What I do know is that I thank you very much for watching, and until next time, this has been Guardian, and I bid you good day.